Hi, guys.
And today is Thursday, March 19th, and we are on the move again.
Yes, we are.
We are currently in Amelia Island at the Fernandino Beach Marina and almost ready to leave Florida and get into the new state of Georgia. And we've been in Florida for a long time.
Yep, right on the border of Florida and Georgia at the moment.
And I'm trying to think, we've done a lot since the last
We have.
podcast that we've done. I'm trying to think. I think when we left the last time, the next exciting adventure that we had were all the kids came down, Nick, Ramey, and our grandson Leon, and we did an adventure down near Orlando at Legoland Resort. So
Yeah, stayed overnight there at a place called Pirate Island Resort. It's right out Legoland, and there's just a lot to do there. The rooms were really cool, decorated, very pirate-like scavenger hunt in the room. We had to follow images on the wall that led to a treasure chest that was filled with soft or drinks, fruit juice, snacks, some Legos. So I think Leon thought it was pretty cool.
yeah, it was a fun adventure. It was fun for adults too. I was expecting it to be more kid oriented, but there were a lot of things within the resorts. There's a sea life aquarium that we visited while the kids were buying lots of Lego sets in the gift store. And there was a mini city that they had built out of, do you remember how many millions
Like
of
like
Legos?
32 million Legos, but it wasn't just one city. It was a bunch of major cities, all the big major cities, even some in Europe, London and whatnot. But they had Vegas built, they had New York built, they had places in Los Angeles. All the hills and dales, and so it was a really cool area, miniature buildings and miniature cities.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth a visit for anyone that might have kids or anybody interested in Legos. We really enjoyed it.
It was pricey.
It was pricey, but
Yeah.
anything in Orlando is going to be pricey.
Yeah.
Walt Disney World, anything.
Yeah, that was like on the 13th through the 15th, and then we had to take them back to the airport, head them back to Cincinnati. But that same day, my brother and sister-in-law, Todd and Tammy, came in. So we took the kids to the airport in the morning, came back to the boat, turned around and went back to the airport and picked up Todd and Tammy. And basically, we spent the day exploring Winter Park on Monday.
Again, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we took them so that they could experience it. We had a great time. One thing we found there was a place called the Wine Room that has wine by the tap. So if you don't know if you like a certain wine, you can just do a little pour and taste it. So we had a lot of fun there and ordered a charcuterie tray.
Yeah.
But the fun thing about Todd and Tammy being there is we made our 3-day trip to come back from Sanford back up to Jacksonville. And Todd and Tammy had been to the boat many times before, but they had never done a traveling adventure with us. So they were really excited about that trip.
Yeah, yeah. We the wine room was cool because there was good wine there. I mean, you could get anything and everything. And then we went over and had to go back to Bovines for dinner. Again, we talked about this earlier. The steak there is fantastic. So we did Bovines, and then I guess on Tuesday we headed out. We said goodbye to the neighbor boats. We made some good friends there. Or Fernando and his little dog Bodie. We hung out with them and learned a lot from him. He'd done the circumnavigated the globe on a sailboat, so he knew a lot about boating. So we were able to pick up some good pointers from him. And then we started back on the trip back with Todd and Tammy.
Yep, had a great time. The first day we left Tuesday around 10. And as we went with the current this time going up the river heading north, we stopped right outside of Blue Springs and we got to see tons of manatees. So fun. Of course, Tom Tammy had never seen him, especially in the wild like that. So we did lots of videos and took lots of pictures. There were lots of boats out that day, everything from paddle boards to kayaks to pontoon boats, everything right around the Blue Springs area. So that was great fun.
Yeah, we had to be really careful going through there so we didn't run over any manatees. So
Yeah.
we had people out on the bow spotting them and would let me know, and I would back off the engines until it was clear. But it was this time of year. There's a ton of them there.
Yeah. And we had to stop and get diesel at a place called Holly Bluff Resort Marina. And the bad part about it, it was very expensive because there's not much diesel down toward that area down along the river. So I think it was
Like $6 a gallon.
almost $6 a gallon, which is a lot. So we only got enough to make our way back to Jacksonville, and then we got more diesel once we made it back to Jacksonville. But the other cool thing, as we were pulling out of that marina, we saw the alligator along the bank, and Todd actually took the drone out and did some videos of the alligator. He actually scared it back into the water, which was kind of funny, but we got some good
You
drone.
got up close and personal with
Yeah,
the alligator. So we've got video of that we'll certainly share. And then later that day, we pulled into the anchorage at Morrison Island.
which was the same anchorage as we went down
Right.
to Sanford. So we knew about it, and it's a beautiful, calm 9 foot of water. We had a great time there, except you lost a fishing pole. Chris
Well,
claims he's going to catch us dinner one of these nights, but
well,
it still hasn't happened.
Todd had said that he didn't know how to flay a fish, and I'm like, what? I was like, all right, let's go catch a fish. So I was casting and sideways, and my hand hit the isinglass, and the rod went flying out of my hands into the water.
Yeah, so
Uh,
we lost a fishing pole.
yeah, but it was just a cheapy Zebco thing. It wasn't anything major,
Yeah,
and it needed to be replaced. So I got on Amazon that very night and had another one by the next day. So
that's
we're
right.
good.
Thankful for Amazon always, right?
Thankful for Amazon.
And the next morning we got up and we made breakfast and took off. I don't know what, probably 10 or 11 o'clock. We weren't in any hurry. And we had to get across Lake George. And do you remember what happened with our little adventure as we were going out to go into Lake George, where there was a real narrow little channel? Do you remember the
Oh, the guy.
fishermen's?
Yeah, it's interesting how there's tons and miles and acres or whatever of places to fish, and it just seems like fishermen have to fish in the channel. I mean, so we're trying not to put out a wake and not to rock anybody, but the epitome of that was, yeah, when you leave the lake, there's a alleyway with wood walls that you need to go through to make sure you're in the deepest
Channel
part
to
to
get
get
into
through
Lake
to
George.
the river. And there's this guy and his granddaughter, it looked like, and they're sitting right in the middle of that channel. So I pull up nice and slow and kind of say, "Hey guys, what are you doing? Everybody okay? Is there are you having a problem?" "No, we're good." Like, well, if you're not having a problem, why are you in the middle of the channel where boats got to come through to get on and off the lake? And he just kind of looked at me like, so I don't think he really was okay, but
No, I
we
don't
we
think
went
so
by.
either.
So it's just, yeah, you got to have a lot of patience with other boaters when you're.
Especially in narrow channels. It's a little scary. So, but the cool thing that day, we got to ride on the front of the bow. You even got to ride up there
Mhm.
with our new chairs from West Marine, which are very comfortable. We had a blanket over us part of the time because it was a little windy and chilly, but that was kind of fun doing the bow riding.
Yeah, so quiet up there.
Yeah, peaceful. And then we pulled into
Corky bells.
Corky Bell's restaurant again. They have a free dock where if you eat dinner, they don't mind if you spend the night. There's no power or water, but it's a fun restaurant. They have a big outdoor patio. We had some adult beverages and a good meal, a lot of fried food, but it was very good.
Yeah, they had their alligator bites there were pretty tasty. you got to be careful with alligator bites. Sometimes they're just so tough you can't chew them. But if you guys can hear the train, there's always a train close to the boat. It seems like. But they had pretty good food there. And we had a good night, good easy stay. And then Thursday we got up, had breakfast on the boat, and got out of there about 9:30 or so.
Mm-hmm. And that's our long day. It's like 6 hours from Palatka to get to Huckins Marina in Jacksonville. So it was our big 6 hour day. We ended up doing some cleaning on the boat while we were on the move, giving everybody a little job to keep us busy along the way. But it was a very uneventful day. Beautiful weather again. Seemed like there were less crab pots coming back versus when we went down to Sanford in December. So that was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled into Lambs and then went back to Cincinnati the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Todd and Tammy, we all went together. So, and then came back to the boat the beginning of March, back to Huckins. We were going to have them work on some boat projects for us. Do you want to describe a little bit about what's going on with the bow or?
No, we just got a soft spot that's developing on the bow. I mean, something pretty normal with older boats, no big deal. But it was going to take too long to do that, so that's not something that needs to be done anytime soon. But we did decide to go ahead and spend money on a new washer dryer combo. The one we had before was not vented. So if you're looking at boats or whatever and there's a washer dryer, you can get non-vented or vented. The non-vented recirculate the water, they pulls the water out and sends it through the hose, but it's just they're not very good. I mean,
No.
towels and cotton not good, but and we were spending a lot of time and money going to laundry mats. So we decided it was worth the investment. So we went ahead and got a new one, and I think you're pretty happy with it.
I am. It's vented now, so we can do a load of laundry. I think it takes 2 hours still, but the clothes come out dry and they're not wrinkled. Remember with the other combo washer dryer, everything was so wrinkled you couldn't even iron the wrinkles out of it. So we've done probably 3 or 4 loads now with the new one, and it's working awesome.
Yeah, so no more trips to the laundry mats. That'll make life a little easier. And the other thing that we did too is the carpet in the bedroom. Just because it's such a narrow track, just going around the bed, it's pretty matted down and just needed to be replaced. So I tore all that carpet out, and we just went and got the carpet tiles, the shag carpet tiles, and stuck them right back down to the floor. Worked out pretty good. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, it feels nice on our feet too. Very nice and plush and very cool.
Yeah, happy with it. We also got the living room carpet steam cleaned. So did some of that, and then we also had some fun. We went to the TPC Sawgrass tournament. We went up there.
The players
The
tournament.
players tournament. Yeah, we went up on Friday. Crazy traffic getting in and out, but we Ubered. We didn't want to deal with parking and all that, but we had a really good time following all the pros, and it was a good day. The weather was just absolutely perfect.
Yep, mid 70s and sunny and no wind, and we pretty much hung out all day there.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, ate there, and there was a huge gift shop, so we bought some trinkets. I got a hat, and I think we got some other things for Leon.
Yep. A hat.
A hat.
Yep. And then I'm trying to think. I think the other excitement, of course, after we were at the players tournament, we decided that we would go ahead and get a slip booked for the Hilton Head, the tournament at Harbor Town in Hilton Head. So we got a slip book for a week, and we're planning on, I think, anchoring out for part of the time too.
During a tournament. Yeah, we'll hang out a few days during a tournament. Maybe anchor out off the 18th fairway, 18th green. Something that bucket listing I've always wanted to do. But we're making our way towards Savannah. We should be in Savannah
By next Friday.
Yeah, in about a week or so. And then from Savannah, it's just a short little jog over to Hilton Head. So we do have a slip rented in Savannah as well. So I think we're pretty booked between now and the end of that tournament, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah. And then we did our exciting adventure yesterday where we left Huckins and came down the river and then got back on the Intracoastal. And it's a little bit different, isn't it? The Intracoastal up here, it's a lot of marshland on the sides and it's very, very narrow and a lot of
Windy.
curves. And the thing that we're learning right now is there's a huge tide difference over on this
Yeah.
side.
Like 6 foot. So if you're up this way and you decide you're going to anchor someplace and not get a slip, make sure you're adding at least 6 foot of tide to your road calculations on how much line you let out, or not just that, but make sure you don't get stranded. If you need an extra, add 6 foot to your draft. Before you pick an anchor site, or you might end up waking up in the morning and grounded. Mm.
Yeah, fun. The other interesting thing that happened yesterday on the way up is that was our first barge that we've seen on the Intracoastal, wasn't it? I don't remember seeing one up till now. I mean, we've seen them on the higher river before, but not in our travels on the boat. So he was going pretty slow. He was probably only going, what, 5 knots?
About 5 knots, yeah.
So we had to find a section of the Intracoastal that was wide enough and had enough water that we could actually pass him. And we did contact him on the radio and asked which side, and he told us his starboard. And it took us a while to get around him, but we had a big enough section.
Those captains know these rivers, know these waterways. So when you're approaching somebody, especially when you're going to overtake them, just get them on the radio. Just call their ship and give them the mile marker, or that you're at. So know your marker and the name of the boat. Hail them. Usually on channel 16, and they'll get right back to you. Tell them what your plans are and what he wants you to do. And he basically told us just hang back for a little bit. There was a sailboat that was kind of in the way. So once we got past the sailboat, he told me to pass him on his starboard side. They had plenty of water, and he knew where we were at. So those guys are very willing and wanting to talk to you and other boats in the area, so everybody's on the same page about who's doing what. Those barges are so long that they need a lot of room to turn, and it's kind of like a semi. You don't want to be on the right lane of a semi turning right because he may cut you off. You need to leave him room, and they know where to put you, where they want you.
And when we came into the marina, it was right around 3:30 or 4, but when we looked, we were actually at low tide. So, but really we didn't really have any areas that it got super shallow on us. We saw pretty much 10 to 14 feet all the way
in the channel.
In the channel.
Yeah, outside the channel, not very far. You're all of a sudden in 6 and 4 feet of water. So know where you're at in the channel.
I think we went around one marker and we were kind of close to it, and it felt like we might have picked up some sand or touched bottom, but it was no problem. And we pulled in, and the dock hands were super helpful and friendly, and we're tied up on a side slip, and it's windy today, so we're looking out the window and it's white capping out here. So today we're just going to go uptown and explore some more. Last night when we got here, we went to a place called the Palace Saloon, which is actually the oldest bar in Florida. So we sat there and had a beer, and then we went to dinner to a place called the Salty Pelican, and it was really cute.
Very, very.
Food was good.
We got there early because I figured it's a popular restaurant down here. Sure enough, we got there about 5 o'clock, and by 5:15, 5:20, for sure by the time we left, there were people just out the door waiting to get a table. So, a good idea if you can is to hit these restaurants before 5, or you're going to be waiting 45 minutes to an hour to get a seat at the popular restaurants.
Yep. So we're going to explore today, and then tomorrow Morning, we'll get up and take off, and our next stop is Georgia. We're going to Brunswick, Georgia. So we already made a reservation for a slip, and we'll have to fill you in on that adventure on our next podcast.
Yeah, this is a cool area, but 3 days is about all you need to see Amelia Island. And there is a couple golf courses because of the weather. It's kind of chilly and windy. We decided not to play. We were thinking about it. We're not going to play golf here. Um, as we head up past Jekyll Island and then into Brunswick, there's some golf courses there. Brunswick is actually a really, really popular marina area. It gets really high reviews. A lot of loopers winter there. It's a very safe area. It's really off the beaten path. It's protected on three sides from hurricanes or storms or wind. So it's a really hot spot. Looking forward to. We're going to spend a good week there.
Yep.
Before we head on up to
Savannah.
So, anything else, Deb? That's about 20 minutes of an update.
I think that's a good update on what we've done.
What we're doing so far. So, yeah, we're going to jump off the boat now and head up to historic Amelia Island and check out some of the stores and shops, and obviously take in a couple of beers and maybe do dinner up there
and watch basketball.
Right now, I'm watching Ohio State get their butts kicked by TCU in the first round. Not happy about that because I have them in a pool. So hopefully they'll turn it around.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.